Hello, good afternoon. It is the afternoon, right? Almost 12 p.m. I just burnt my mouth on coffee, which I didn't realize that the stream had already started. That's embarrassing, but that is fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. If you are new here, this is one of my live streams, and we're actually doing a pen launch today. Not my pen, it's a collaboration pen. And so we're doing it at the time that it is actually officially being launched and available for purchase. And so I'm going to just put the link in the chat immediately. And that way, if you do like it as we're talking, you can go check it out. There's also a gold nib version. So, welcome everybody. Thank you as always so much for joining. I really appreciate you having you here with me. Gosh, you can't even speak. Um, yes. Okay, let me say hello. John, sending you much love. Hope you are. I don't want to say doing well because that seems unrealistic, but thank you for being here, and I hope we can give you something to laugh about today or enjoy. Hello, Dragon Drawer. Hello, Wendy Sue. Yes, we have a pen today. The pen. First of all, I was gonna show you the box and everything, and then I was like, you know what? First of all, I have no space on my desk or in the surrounding vicinity. And so I just didn't. I put it over there and I'm not going to dig it out because I don't want to. And also, I probably couldn't. What type of coffee am I drinking? I'm a little ashamed to say it's actually my Nespresso pod because I did not really have much time to make a real coffee. It does the job. It does the job. It's not awful. And it is the Vienna Lungo pods, and so I make two of them in the coffee. It's not bad. I mean, it's not as spectacular as like a real freshly roasted or locally roasted coffee that has a lot of flavor, but it's not bad. Good and hard days, yes. I can imagine. And I mean, this is something that I wish I could do something for everyone, but we will do our best to keep you company. Where is Hibachi? Someone needs to notify him, right? Okay, so the pen, as we've rambled, this pen was sent to me to share with you. And I usually, for the last couple years, I have participated in assisting stilo&stile with their pen launches. And so for me, this is a tradition for me. Now, it is not Thanksgiving in Canada, but if you are tuning in from the US, and from what I can see, most of you are, happy Thanksgiving to you. And I know there's Black Friday and all the stuff coming this weekend, but none of that matters because right now we are here together doing fun stuff. This pen is really cool. So the notes about it, this is stilo&stile and a collaboration with Leonardo. This is the Momento Zero Grande model, which means it is not huge. It is a number 6 nib, and it is a cartridge converter, and it comes with a converter. So the model itself is the Momento Zero, and the finish, the thing they were going for is kintsugi. And I'm guessing most of you here know what that is, but the product details for the pen are: kintsugi is a traditional Japanese technique for repairing ceramics that stands out for its unique approach to the art of restoration. The term kintsugi comes from two Japanese words: kin, meaning gold, and sugi, meaning joining or mending. The kintsugi technique goes beyond simply repairing objects. It also represents a deep philosophy. It breathes new life to something which could be considered broken, turning the scars into a sign of beauty. Ceramic objects repaired with kintsugi art become true masterpieces of art. Embellishing them with gold dust accentuates their beauty, making fragility a point of strength and perfection. So this one is kind of to reflect that. I mean, clearly this pen has not been cracked and kintsugi together, but the gold leaf inside the material evokes the philosophy and the look, and is a sign of refinement and strength. So let's take off the little thingy. I don't know. I also have breakfast and I didn't eat it. I'm tired. Thank you so much for stopping by, Doug. Yes, I can imagine. It is good. It's going to be busy for everyone. But thank you. It's much appreciated. So, here we go. It is a really cool look. I think what they've managed to achieve by having the gold flaking be not just on the surface, but going down, you can see like the depth of it as it spans the material. So my camera is not cooperative today. All right, so uncapped. First of all, it does have an inner cap. That's the only thing that might throw some people off who like the fully clear look. It's got the white inner cap to protect the tip. And, I mean, I don't really mind. Would it look cool without it? Probably, but I prefer having it in there, keeping everything put together, you know? I'm gonna just adjust my camera because sorry that you have to see all my cables, even though they're in my face, basically. That's a me fault. It's my fault, my problem. Okay, and on mine, we've got the number 6 gold colored steel nib. This is a broad. They do have the gold nib. Now, just so we know, they are available for purchase now, 145 euros. And so, what are euros? What are euros? I'm like, I can't help with conversion. I'm sorry. Okay. So the code for Black Friday sales is, I'm gonna write it here. It is Black Friday weekend. So BFW 2024. There we go. As always, can't see it because it's reflecting all the light. Is it a similar material look to the Pink Sakura SD from Bungu Box? Yeah, it is. That's a good thing. If I had mine handy, I would show it, but I don't. And I just cleaned it and I put it somewhere, and because I am not organized, I don't know where I put it. So I can't even show it to you, but yes. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you so much. So yours says 178 euros. It's probably because you have to change your location to make sure you are outside of Europe, because mine's set to Canada. And it'll remove the VAT for you. The design of the pen looks like those mirrors from the 1970s that had gold flecks on them. I need to Google that because I don't know. That doesn't ring a bell. I'm not sure if I've seen that. I just want to point out that one of my favorite things about Leonardo pens is the fact that they jazz up the converter. I know most of the time you don't see it, but I think it looks a little bit nicer having the metal top on it instead of the black plastic. And of course, in a clear pen, it looks really good. So let's write. So we have the... Oh, sorry. I was trying to figure out where you'll be able to see me. Okay, here we go. Stilo a stile and Leonardo. Hang on. Yeah, I'm having issues today. I'm sorry. I had my procedures and I'm not quite recovering very well. This is the... I'm going to just do Momento 0, an M and a Z. And this is the kintsugi. Yes, girl, that reflection is killing it. That any better? Maybe. This would look sick if it was a black pen. That would be very cool. I'm going to let him know that for next year. Maybe he'll do something cool like that. Okay, and we have, as I said, I'm going to write it over here, a steel, of course I'm blocking, a steel broad nib, and the ink is, this is not my ink, I inked it from a friend's bottle. This is not the Grande, correct, it's just the Momento 0, because the Grande is quite a bit larger, and piston, and bigger nib, and more expensive. This ink is very interesting. It's like, it's kind of weird. Like, in a way, at first glance, it's like, ew. But it's fascinating. So, this is the Mont Blanc. Robert Louis Stevenson. I'm realizing I'm doing this in my Inky Messes notebook now, so I'm going to have to mess over all of this. It's like, I don't know what color this is. It's like a brown, it's like a gold, brown, green bile type thing. It's like a green gold. It's like an alt gold grün from Lauren Klingner, but like more intense, more gold, less green. I think it's really cool, and it looks really, really interesting in like a fine nib or a stub nib. So this is a broad, round point, so it really brings it together, but having the ink spread a little is really very bizarre. I'm going to put a drop of water on the page from my precious and take a sip. Nice and swampy. Yes. Oh my gosh, olive octopus. Wait. Olive octopus. Are you this olive octopus? I'm going to put that there while you answer. Okay, so let's put a bit of ink in here just to... Because yes, this is a pen release video, but also it's always a play video. Always. This is what we always do. If there's no play, I must. This is not a review because, I mean, I've had the pen for 2 weeks. So again, it's not a review. It is sharing it with you, so you could check it out if you would like. No, I'm not paid. This is not sponsored. I genuinely enjoy sharing these things. And if I hated the pen, I would have said no. So, it looks like oxidized avocado. Yeah. And that sounds so gross, but it's a nice, like, it comes out really nice. Okay, we're going to just put the converter in here. Here's another tidbit about Leonardo pens. They have the threaded converter, which is remarkably helpful if you are someone who throws your pens in a bag, or you are careless and just kind of, when you remove the converter, you don't really pay attention to when you put it back in. And it can happen where a converter can be loose, and then it is like it falls out. Oh my gosh, so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. Olive octopus. Thank you so much. Olive from... All I saw was olive. Also, I love olives. Sorry, yeah, the converter can fall out when they're not threaded, and if you're sloppy, like some people might be in the room, So that's just a nice helper, a nice bonus. So let's see what this looks like with a bit of ink play in it. We need the blower. We need the blower here. The blower needs to help us blow the ink, move it around. It does not sheen. It is not, like, it's not super saturated. So for people who hate to have to deal with inks that sheen because the cleanup is a pain, you don't have to worry about that here. And the Memento Zero is definitely one of my favorite pen models in general, but for Leonardo is either number one or number two. My other model that I love is the Memento Magico, which is this size but is a piston filler, and the only reason I potentially might prefer it more is just the design thing, not because that it is a converter, nope, piston, because I don't really care about that. I'm trying to find it. I'm sorry, I'm so disorganized. It's in here somewhere. Anyway, it has the center band on the cap is more of a, it's not rings, it's like a band, and I like the design of it, and so I just like how it looks overall. So I would be torn between the two models. And also, as we know, I don't even use the piston. I just take the nib unit out and pour ink into the body. So I treat it like a eyedropper anyway. What would it all... Oh, have you ever drawn an olive octopus? This ink seems like it would be very olive octopusy somehow. Okay, let's draw an olive. So we have an olive. They look kind of like this, but let's say this one has a pimento, but it's also an octopus. So it has 1, 2, 3. Oh no, listen. We know I can't draw, so let's just. There we go. I drew you an olive octopus. There are pens I do not like. It does happen. The thing is, we don't see them very much on my channel because I don't want to use them. And so I don't show them off. That makes sense, right? If I had to think of an example, let me think of one. Huh. No. I mean, I'm not. There are absolutely pens I don't like. I just can't think of any at the moment. Okay, this might be insane. The Danny Trios that are very bulbous. First of all, they're very expensive, so they're kind of out of my price range of what I'm willing to spend on one pen. But at least at this current stage in my life, who knows what'll happen in next year when I'm 40, or in 10 years when I'm 50. They're bulbous, so they're shaped like this, and then they kind of they're like elongated peanuts, and then this is the cap, and so I don't like those. And the work, like the artwork on them might be beautiful because they're often like urushi or makie techniques or something, but the shape really freaks me out, and so there are pens I don't like. Unfortunately, they're often very expensive pens, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Under the sea in an octopus's garden. That would be very, very special poetry. It's like the Little Mermaid, but the little inker, the little olive in the octopus's sea. I don't know if I should continue that sentence. I think I should just stop. So let's see. Let's decorate the Danny Trio Theory pen. Okay, I diluted the ink a little bit too much, so I'm gonna just. It's flowing fine. It's just that it's diluted with the water when I soaked it up, and I don't like it. I want it. I want this particular ink more saturated, so we're gonna plunge it a little. Interestingly, the reason I put the water on is so that we could see how it behaves, like kind of like chromatography, but not really. But just to see what happens, and so you can see the shading a little bit more. It's very interesting. Like I said, no sheen. So I don't know. These seem like a really good match. There's probably more golden inks, but I felt like this was a good match. Yeah, I now all I can see is like the black pen with the gold flakes. Even like a black pen with like the cracked kintsugi lines in the way that you would see it on like the ceramics, because you know what I mean, right? So they're like they look like that, something like that. So like a black unpolished ebonite, maybe like a sandblasted black with kintsugi in the gold technique that they would use on pens. I don't know, that'd be really cool. Yes, the shape reminds me of a bowling pin. It really does look like that. And it's such a start. Like, this drawing actually makes it look more gentle than it actually is, because usually it's more like, no, that's not right. Usually it's more like this. And the the section and barrel, like it just bulbs out way more. I don't know. It's more like this, and I'm just that for me, that's not what I like. So yeah, and I've written with them before, and the nibs are often very interesting, and the artwork on them is often very interesting. But as far as the pen goes, nah. Let me see. Let me think of what else I don't like. There's a page in the Dominant Industry Atlantis book that looks like Ariel's grotto with an octopus. I like that. I wish I could see. This is where I wish I could actually draw in a proper, useful way. You know what I mean? Other pens that I don't like. Let me see. I have definitely bought pens that I ended up not liking. Not necessarily because there was anything wrong with the pen. Like the Danny Trio, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a very nice. They're very nice pens. The work is very nice. They're pretty. I just wish they weren't bulbous. This olive octopus needs a name. Olive octopus. At like 4 a.m. I ate a whole bunch of olives. They were so good. Okay, that made now it looks a little maniacal. You know, an urushi or makie bowling pin. There are quite a few artists on, and I only know this just because they come up in my suggested feed and stuff. Um, Artists that do urushi and makie in on other items. So, I mean, like a lot of like jewelry containers and like hair accessories, and I'm sure someone would do it if they have not already. So I have to look that up. Yes, I really like that kintsugi idea of the black pen with the cracks. I think that's really cool. Okay, someone needs to do it. Someone needs to make it happen. Someone needs to just do it. Do you guys have plans today? in Canada, our Thanksgiving is not that big, I think. So, um, I can't remember what I did. I think I went home. My mom made foods, but yeah. So I don't know. Is it? I like food. Do you get pie? Do you have pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie or like what's the other one? Pecan pie? Oh, that sounds really good. I was gonna draw a pecan, but then it would just be a wrinkly little blob, kind of like this. You know what I mean? See, I should have done this in a separate notebook or on a separate piece of paper because now I have all this stuff that makes sense in my notebook, which is not something we usually go for because usually it looks like this. And so this seems too sensible, you know? Pecan, sweet potato, and pumpkin. Yeah, okay, okay. I have not had the sweet potato casserole pie thing, but I do love pumpkin and pecan pie. And I'm not here for the pumpkin spice thing. I don't get it, but I love pumpkin pie. And of course, with the pecan pie, you could basically have one slice before you go into hyperglycemia. You are eating Mormon food. What is Mormon food? That, yes, I might be showing my idiocy here, but I don't know. I don't know what that means. It has tiny legs. What has tiny legs? My peanut pen has tiny legs. Oh my goodness. A video call later at a small version of Thanksgiving dinner, but thinking of doing a pumpkin roll with cranberry instead of pie. Okay. Oh, look at this. You blend white beans and bacon like a pumpkin pie. Baked bean pies. This is fascinating. Wendy Sue, that is lovely. Are they good? Like, are they enjoyable casseroles? You're going for a hike. Oh my gosh. I'm basically just being a blob in my chair all day. But that's okay because I admire people who are physically active on days of holiday or days off. Like people who get up and do like family marathons. Nuh-uh, not me. I would, but I don't. I could, but I shan't. I could, but I don't. Oh, let's do the test. I haven't done the test yet. Let's see what the inky. Okay, I know. I can tell you. I want to make this nib wetter because it flows really well, but it is for my preference. I want ink basically dripping out of my nib, and it is a bit too dry for me. So this would be an example for anybody who's not familiar with pens, who is kind of new. This would be something that would be a perfectly functional, reliable pen, and it might not write the way you want it to write. And that does not mean there's something wrong with the pen, and that does not mean there's something wrong with you. It just means you want it tuned for what you want. So I'm going to just make it a little wetter. And don't ever use my technique because it's not technique. Got to get it going again. Also, this ink is dry. It is a drier ink based on the color. So it is a bit on the dry side. Of course, now it doesn't write at all. I'm gonna have to re-ink it. It's gonna be... Okay, that spot is not a good one. I just killed it. Need water again. I just touched my straw to it. Oh, here's some nice greenness. Like, here's a really nice... This one is more gold, and here's a nice green example of it. Oh, I got the ink all over me. That's fine. It's all good. We're gonna just make like a pea or like an amoeba. Or like cat. This looks like cat barf a little. You know, when they're running and they throw up. Something like that. They don't have faces, so we're gonna have to just... Oh, this came out really cool with the ripples and the striations. Huh. That's awesome. Okay. I'm into that. That came out nice. Very nice. Sorry, Wendy Sue, you said you were thinking of getting a stub. And I got distracted by something. I don't know. It looked like a slug at first, but now with the... Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have put the hairs. Now it looks like something like a white cell or like a... something that has lots of cilia on the body. So something microscopic. I need to think about that. I might get this nib ground at the Philly show because there are 4 Nibmeisters going, I believe. There is Gina from Custom Nib Studio, Matthew from Matthew's Nibworks, and Kirkspear from Penrealm, Damien from All in the Nib, and I believe JJ Lax will be there. A gold paramecium. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I believe JJ Lax will be there. So more often than not, they all fill up really fast and I never make it in time. But maybe I'll make it if there's 5 of them. Did I count that right? I don't know. I like that. Golden paramecium. It's like the golden pedestal paramecium. Oh, look at this. Now that it's dried, on the camera it looks more green, but here it's more of like a matte sandy gold. It's very unusual. Very peculiar, but in a cool way. Yeah, really odd. I'm really bad at lines. I mean, I'm not good at straight lines, and even though there's a grid, I still don't, I don't operate well. But there is a trick that a calligrapher taught me when he does straight lines just without a tool. So he said if you start in one spot, but you actually focus your eyes on the... Wait, let's do it this way. So you start in one spot, but you focus your eyes on where you want to end. So like say here. So I got my pen here, but now I'm going to look at that dot. And then if you do... Oh. So it's not going to be perfectly straight, but it is more straight than if you were to watch where your pen tip is, as opposed to the end line. So, or the finish line. So, okay, I'm going to try that again because that's interesting. So let's do one here to here. So I'm looking here to start with, and now I'm going to look over there. Okay, I missed it, but it was kind of close. I'm an idiot. I mean, clearly not straight, but if you do it like this, where you follow it... Oh, that was really good too. Science. That's one of the nice things about Atlanta. Lots of nib workers at a smaller show, so it's easier to get appointments. Right, right. I mean, Philly is a nice size, so I think if I organize myself, I can possibly get an appointment. What I should do is go check out their websites because sometimes they open up slots that you can book ahead of time. Because I know Custom Nib Studio does that, and they always fill up really fast. Everybody's trying to get theirs. But I would like to get one because I have one of Gina's perspective grinds. But I didn't get it from them at a show. I got it from the Shown Design table because he had a few available for purchase and I wanted one, and so I got one. And have I used it yet? No. Why? Because I'm a terrible person. No. I really just want like a month off so I could just play with pens. Like I want a month of no responsibilities, at least a month, right? Like this is what we all want. I want a month. I just want to play with stuff and that's it. Like I just want to I would also like to figure out what pens I have that need a nib, and then I could put the perspective nib unit onto one of those pens. Also, let me tell you something hilarious. While I was doing the prep for these procedures, you can't eat. It's only clear broth and stuff like that. And so I forgot to have sufficient food on the Saturday. And so on the Sunday and Monday morning, I basically was just having soup broth for a day and some. And so at like 3 a.m. on Monday, I'm lying in bed and I'm like, I'm so hungry. And then I ended up ordering like $500 of food on Costco for delivery because I was that hungry. And I was like, this will fix everything. It did not. It didn't. And then I thought to myself, what was I thinking? I could never eat this much food. Here's what I mean. I purchased one of their pancake mixes, the Crusties that Drew and I had talked about. But it's like a 3 kilogram bag or something of pancake mix. So I did that. And oops. But that just means I have a lifetime supply of pancake mix now. And I don't even eat pancakes that often. But previously, I was too lazy to make it from scratch. I was to put flour and baking soda and all that. But now I have the delicious mix. So I'm kind of excited about that. This is a very elegant ink. I feel like it would look really good as well in just a plain pen, like something that's not fun. It is a lot of pancakes. And I'm really the only one that eats them. So, I mean, it's just me. So maybe what I will do is actually take some to when I go to visit my brother and sister-in-law with my nieces, like take some for myself in a separate container and then just give them the rest of the bag because at least they can more likely use it up with the little ones. Oh yeah. So I'm just doodling. Mmm. Before you were a teacher, you were a prep cook and had to make large quantities of pancake mix. Do you remember the recipe? And was it good pancake mix? Like, was it good in the end? Because I know some people do different things to make it fluffy, and then there's the buttermilk pancake, and then some people like buckwheat. I like fluffy pancakes. Like, I don't want it to be dense. So it's like really, when the batter separated, that's so sad. I would just eat it. Oh, take half and split it up and freeze it. I never thought of freezing it. Why not, right? Because otherwise it's going to end up with little bugs in it eventually. Like the little weevils. Oh my god. I once made oatmeal. Oh, it was so gross. So I made the oatmeal and I poured it was quick oats, so I just poured boiling water in it. And then I went into the fridge to get the toppings, so it had like berries and stuff in there, and maple syrup. And I turned back around, look at the bowl, and like the weevils had like little worms had floated to the surface, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I saw that before I ate it. I'm sure it would have been fine. I'm sure it's not a big deal. Like, it's not the end of the world to eat a worm, and some people do it for health. Like, that is a food option. Right, extra protein. But somehow their little bodies, like, they were like this, like little things with stripes on them. And then their ends were white and the bodies were like brown. And I was like, oh, you have a face, which means you probably have a mouth, which means you have a family. Anyway, I didn't eat it. But I didn't eat it. And I didn't even bother looking at the rest of the bag. I was like, I'm going to just put this in the compost. Yeah, they're little bugs. Yeah. It was tasty. You don't remember the recipe. That's okay. That's okay. Because now I have 12,000 pounds of pancake mix. So I wouldn't be able to make it anyway. And I think I'm going to get a waffle iron. They have just like one of those like single serving ones, like for sad, lonely people like myself, uh, who only have to feed themselves. I think I'm gonna get one of those, and I'm kind of laughing because I want to do it, and I want to bring my pancake mix to Philly and just like make it in the evenings and just sit there and eat. I bet the food companies plant the weevil eggs in their products, so you have to buy more. That is a fascinating thought. And I would not be surprised. I could see that happening. And even if they don't plant it, maybe they just don't like filter for them. They don't keep conditions to avoid it. Rice weevils. Oof. Okay. When I was young and first married, we were living in an old apartment and we got moths in the food, like in the pantry. And that, let me tell you, getting rid of moths, like food moths, not clothing moths, that is a task. Look at you guys with your food hacks. Waffles also freeze and go in a toaster to reheat, like an Eggo. So I could just have like a waffle party, like while I'm watching a movie, just make myself a whole bunch of waffles and freeze them. Okay, you like thinner, crispy pancakes. Please explain this. Like a crepe or like a pancake? Because when you say crispy, I'm thinking it's got to be thin enough for it to toast or like pan fry a little. But so you don't want the fluff. Like the fluff. The fluff is that's the fluff. The fluff is the substance for me. But I like crispy. I could live with crispy. Yeah, I'm clearly not doing anything useful here. I'm just doodling. But I'm so glad you guys are here with me doodling along. Are you guys doodling? Or work? You're not working, right? Waffle Palooza. Wait, I gotta write that. Waffle Palooza. Also, in case you haven't seen, which you probably have, but let me just put the link for you. Our boy Drew is on YouTube and he's doing videos. So here's the first one if you want to go check it out. You've probably already seen. Thin waffles were used as ice cream cones. Right. And then they would do it in like the waffle cone and then they shape them. I love those. I'm definitely into those. I love waffle cones. I would eat a waffle cone even without ice cream. Like, the waffle cone part is better than the ice cream. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Ultra 1000, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Jay, I'm doing well. Thank you. You know, it's like, we just gotta do what we can, right? And once the trend overall is upwards, then that's a good thing. Ooh. Olive Octopus, do I follow you? This sounds really embarrassing. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude. Um, Olive Octopus Inc. Oh, I do! Oh, you haven't posted in a week. That's why I haven't seen you. Ice cream in a stroopwafel. Ooh, that would be a lot. It's a lot of sugar, but yes, I like it. Cold ice cream, hot stroopwafel, absolutely. That's like stroopwafel a la mode. Yes. Are you gonna fire you because of your nib wipe tagline idea? No, absolutely not. There is no such thing as, first of all, no. No. I feel like, no. Definitely not. I would never. Okay, look at the circles. Also, I've never had a Philly cheesesteak. And we're going to Philly, so I might have to make it happen. But I don't want to have like a subpar one. I want to have one that is like the Philly cheesesteak. So if anybody has any recommendations, please let me know. In my head, I make so many plans to do things, and then what ends up happening is I burn out really, really fast, and then just sit in the lobby or the hotel bar and just eat whatever they have because I'm too tired to move. So it might have to be a takeout Philly cheesesteak, in other words. My point being, it might have to be a takeout version. I did get the laundry soap cleaned up. Thank you very much. What I had to do was actually move the colossal and very heavy washer and dryer. The dryer was not that bad. And I went through much laundry, soaking it up, and also many paper towels just to kind of get the bulk of it. Because at first it was like the back was behind the stuff, there was lint, and so it got mixed in, so I couldn't reuse it. I did scoop some up and put it back into the container, and and then I had to mop it and then dry it. So literally the laundry room is the cleanest it has ever been. Truly, like you could lick the floor if you wanted. I wouldn't, but you could. But never again, never, ever again do I ever want to have to go through that, because that was a horror, and I've learned my lesson, so I will not be purchasing. No, I will purchase the giant containers, but I'm going to decant it into a smaller container and keep that one out for use and put the giant container in, like out of the way, and not use that one actively. That will just be the stock container, which would have been smart in the first place. But these are the things that idiots do when they're distracted. Or anyone could do this. Like, things happen. I'm just kidding when I say I'm an idiot about it. But it was not fun. And I never, ever want to go through that again. Like, ever. It was not a good time. In case anybody is wondering, and sometimes this does come up, no, I do not have Black Friday. I don't do Black Friday sales in the shop because it's really just me, and I really can't afford to. So I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay with that. And like, it's just, I don't have enough stuff to do it, and so yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then Saturday is Small Business Saturday, so I don't know. I mean, I don't really believe that Black Friday sales are really like in terms of big companies. You don't really. It's not really a sale anyway. It's just a trick. And it's really the small businesses that give you an actual sale, and they're the ones that can't. Okay, I'm just testing. Okay. This could work. I don't often use my Leonardos like this, but the Momento Zero and the Momento Magico are preferred because I can get very low on the page. Yeah, you'd be surprised. people do email to ask if I'm doing a Black Friday discount, but I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't. Oh boy. I have a few orders to pack, and it's like it's so exciting. I really do sing and prance and print, and then curse the printer because it doesn't ever want to print properly. And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna print you 12 blank pages and one proper page. Or then it does this thing where if there's QR codes, it tries to scan the QR code while it's printing, and it's like so annoying. It thinks it's being smart, but it's not. So it's gonna become like one of that Office Space movie, you know, where they take the printer out into the field and beat it to death with a baseball bat. That's gonna be me. DoorDash. Yeah. Yeah. DoorDash some Philly cheesesteaks. But it has to be it has to be a dasher that we can trust, because I don't want my Philly cheesesteak stolen by my dasher. I don't want them to see my cheesesteak and be like, oh, I need that for myself. I'm going to give up my entire career, my entire job of door dashing just to steal this Philly cheesesteak. PC load PC load letter. Oh gosh. And his name, Michael Bolton. Yes, exactly. My favorite part of orders is the thank you part, like the thank you note part. And then I have to pack it. That's less favorite because I'm not good at it. But my favorite part is definitely doing the note. My paramecium is taking a long time to dry. I'm gonna help it a little with some some napkin absorption. Or I can blow it. Let's blow it. I know I ruined the paramecium, but that's okay. It's part of the fun. And I like it in a way. Okay, so we got this like little tangle. I'm gonna write PC load letter in here. PC. Oh, I got water all over me. That's fine. It's fine. PC load. Oh, I did not plan this well. It is barely fitting, but we'll make it. It doesn't matter. It fit. We'll do a few triangles in honor of Lord Hibachi. I recall now that he is actually he's driving somewhere for Thanksgiving, so he is probably on the road. Lord Hibachi, if you're watching this later, we missed you and we love you. Actually, this page came out pretty good, right? Like, it's not awful. I think it's... Okay, I gotta think about what else... When this is empty, I need to use something else. I need something more golden for it. So I gotta think about that. Like, what am I gonna use? I don't have a lot of gold. Maybe the Pelican Edelstein from 2 years ago, or was it 3 years ago? The barrel, where it was like a yellow-green with golden shimmer-ish. Maybe something like that would look really cool. It will be an exploration. This was from the llama the other day. The llama, by the way, their Thun to Fund is still going, but I ended up filling it in a little llama paca. So it was good. That was fun. Diamond, golden sand. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so I want to write that down so I don't forget. So let me make it fun. Thank you, Wendy Sue. That makes complete sense. diamine, golden cyan, because I definitely have at least one, if not more, bottles of it. Because that is usually, and then, okay, golden beryl, that was the other one. Thank you. I couldn't remember the proper name. Pelican. Ooh, that would be interesting to compare those two. Golden beryl. Perfect. Now I'll remember. I mean, I'll know I wrote it somewhere, and then I'll forget where I wrote it, even though it's right in here. Yay! Anyway, again, clearly not a review. I just like playing with pens, and that's all. So, I mean, I guess we can wrap up. So sad. Yeah, there we go. This is what we did together with the stilo&stile and Leonardo Momento Zero kintsugi. So there we go. Yeah. Ooh, Heart of Gold. Do I have that? Robert Oster. I used to have some, so I don't think I used up the bottle, but it was one of those baby bottles. So I gotta check. But thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining me and keeping me company, and I mean, not just today, but always. I really appreciate it. There we go. What? Okay, it's still rolling. This notebook is almost done. So we're going to be starting a new one soon. We're getting there. Don't go. You eat Thanksgiving with your family. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Take some pens with you and just say, you're working and you need time with your pens. Take some pens. That'll always help. You've taken my lead and started dumping inks in your parallels. Beautiful. The body of the parallel is the dream dumping ground. Honestly, like it is. Just throw your ink in there. Who cares? I'm so happy to hear you're doing that. And I'm glad. Yeah, that's the problem. You make amazing combinations, and then people are like, "Oh my god, what ink did you? What is that?" And you're like, "I don't know." And so that's fine. You'll get the hang of it. Like you'll figure out what combinations work really well, and you'll love it. I'm so glad. Yay! Thank you, everybody. Sending you all so much love. If today is hard for you, and if it's not, I hope you enjoy it. And either way, I'm so grateful for you guys. I might be live tomorrow, so I will post it and share it. We might have a guest. So it'd be nice. Okay. Okay, bye.